Whew, that was quick.
That was quick. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Cynema in a subcategory of Soundbooth Theater Live, sort of. But it's also Sin's show. It's just kind of lives in this weird in-between space, and it's very, very interesting.
Yes, it is. How long is that logo going to be there?
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of sending Rich the calendar as well. Oh, that's...
Yeah, so was Rich asking about Dungeon Lord release date or something? Or
he was just trying to think of different things to suggest for the next show. So I told him I'd send him a screenshot of the calendar, the release calendar.
Good thinking, Rich. Well, thank you everybody for coming. It's been a whole month since we've seen you. I was scared the entire time that you guys weren't here. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what do I do without an audience? So, I'm glad to be back. This is our last Cynema before we kick the Soundbooth Theater Live new season back in. That's starting 2 weeks from today, I guess.
Starting in August.
In August is one. We have one more Wednesday. No, we have 2 more Wednesdays in August.
Yeah, it starts in
July.
In July, yeah. August
3 weeks.
Start. Mm-hmm.
3 weeks from today, we will launch a brand new Soundbooth Theater Live, the actual variety show version, the one that you guys all know and love, except it's going to be a little bit better. We've put a lot more time and energy and thought into our segments and grease in the wheels for this thing. So, I think it'll be a better show and something that, maybe you guys would be interested in sharing with more people, since we're not just going to be like hanging out with the boys. We're actually going to be putting on a show. So, I think I'm excited for it. We're going to have 4 months of that. So variety show, but better. Yes. Thanks, David R. Taylor, for jumping in on. See, this is the first time I've seen somebody comment on Twitter, and it show up in our comments here.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening, guys. It's happening. So yeah, let's get into today's reviews. All right, so we had, in the order that we're going to watch, or that we're going to talk about them, About Time, right? And that was our analog to A Summoner Awakens, Book 2, which is now available on Audible. So don't forget that, you guys. Go pick that up. It's been doing really well since it's been out. It's only been a week and a half or so. No, a week and a day. It came out last Tuesday. So there's that. Our second movie is Fallen with Denzel. I think that should be part of the title.
Fallen with Denzel.
Fallen.
I agree.
Who cares about anybody else involved?
It's Denzel starring in Fallen.
Yeah. Denzel starring in Fallen. Someone had suggested. Elle was telling me someone had suggested that she was talking to that they just, instead of naming all the Jason Statham movies, they should just call it Jason Statham Part 3, Part 7.
Because he often just plays himself.
Yeah, and that's the only reason people are going to that movie. So it's like, what's the point? Just cut it. Just cut all the bullshit. So Denzel Falling, Ken Song said.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. So that one we watched in celebration of Reborn Assassin by Harmon Cooper, which is in pre-order at the moment, I believe, and it will be releasing this Friday. So that is also on Audible. This one was a blast. I narrated it. Dory Sachs, Annie Ellicott, Ryan Reed, and Justin Thomas James joined me in the cast. Basically, it is a kid goes to a wizard school. This particular magic system relies on cards, so it's like a card lit RPG. But he gets possessed by an assassin who is murdered by, well, I can't really tell you who. That's a mystery. But he gets murdered and he wants revenge, so he possesses this student's body, and there's a whole lot of him talking to himself, actually talking to Ghost, the guy who's possessing him. It's a whole lot of fun. Like the characters, as always with Harmon Cooper, are really fun to hang out with, and it was just a blast to do all the voices. My favorite voice to do, maybe.
Oh,
I loved Ghost.
I know which one is your favorite.
He's on the cover. He's on the cover. I forget his name though. Damn it! I've been like stalling so I can remember his name.
Is it
What
Jinx?
is his name? Ziggy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his buddy. Oh,
no,
not
Juno.
No, Juno is my favorite.
Oh, Juno.
I loved
he
Juno.
was so gross.
He was obnoxious, and I loved him. That was like
gross,
such a
so
good
was
voice.
Ziggy.
No, but every time he spoke, Ziggy, he just squelches and gross sounds.
That's all it was.
Yeah, it was just fart sounds. But Juno, that was like every time he spoke, I was interested.
He sounded like he had a mouthful of braces.
Yeah. That was the point. That's the magic. That's the magic happening.
I'm convinced Jeff does this stuff to just make my life more difficult.
No, Harmon totally.
Oh, he had you do it?
Yeah, he had that in mind. He was like,
got a bone to pick with
give him a speech impediment. Let's see what happens.
And also,
I
didn't put this one up earlier. The Summoner Awakens book.
Oh, two, right. Yeah, this is book 2. So yeah, guys, pre-order that. Yes, pre-ordering does help us because, if you forget to buy it the day of, I mean, not that big a deal on the surface, but what works in Amazon and on Audible is their algorithm. And so if you pre-order, then when you pre-order, the sale counts on the day of its release. So all those pre-orders get counted at once, and it just shoots us up the rankings. So it's a big deal for us to get pre-orders. So anyone who can pre-order for us, that would be a huge help. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you asking. And our third movie for today, which was extra credit, is The Last Starfighter. Now that was what were we celebrating? The Other Guys with that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So do we? But The Other Guys is. Sin dropped out. She's missing.
No, she'll be back.
She'll be back. So Other Guys, book 3. We had a production catastrophe with this one, and it looks like we're gonna have to delay the release, which really bums me out. This is, I think, the last installment of this series that we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
Why does that say Heroes of Last Resort 2? Oh, that's because 2 is probably just okay. This is the series image. Got it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I was just putting on. I don't know.
Yeah. So if you guys have not checked out the Other Guys series, Heroes of Last Resort, is book 1. You can find that on Audible. There's 2 installments ready for you at the moment. Book 3 is in process. As I said, that it was a big catastrophe as far as production. So we basically need to start over an entire process of polishing this thing off.
Which hopefully won't take, it'll take a couple weeks. We'll be back on track soon.
Yeah. So keep an eye out on the schedule, guys. Be sure to, subscribe to the newsletter, and we'll let you know when it's when we have a new date for it. But
it's just me, or do these pictures invoke the Goonies? I don't know what it is.
That one definitely, yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's something. I really like this imagery.
Yeah.
Like these images, this is great.
Yeah, I like that.
There's something about it. I can't. But it's great. It's great.
All right, and I think that's about it. So why don't we just go ahead and get started with About Time? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
It's about time. It's about time.
Who was this a first-time watch?
Me.
For? Same. What about you, Ahmed?
I saw it, but I couldn't remember half of it. Like I must have watched it like half paying attention a long time ago. But I guess that doesn't count. This time around, I really watched it.
Okay, can we scroll back down to that picture of Rachel McAdams?
This one?
Which one?
No, below.
This one?
Just
This
a little
one?
bit lower. Just a little bit lower. It's right there. It's just there it is.
With the blonde
That
hair.
is really creepy looking. I don't know what's going on with that
It's
picture.
Hollywood.
It's
It's because
terrible.
he's smiling up at the camera.
I think maybe
It's the hair. It's the hair.
I think it's the hair, and I think maybe it's the faux head. I don't know.
Oh, she got a big faux head. Faux show. That's why she got the bangs in this movie. Look at this.
The bangs were a big deal in this movie.
Yes,
She-
they were
she
like
was-
their own character.
All right, so who wants to go first on this one?
Okay, I guess I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. I don't feel like I have a ton to say about this because for the longest time while I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's sweet, and there are some nice, cute moments, but it's kind of boring, and I don't particularly care. And he kind of annoyed me a little bit that he was going back and like basically stealing her away from her boyfriend by adjusting time. I was like, well, that's kind of assholey of him, but when it got to the part at the end where he spent that day on the beach with his dad as a child,
Yeah.
oh, that grabbed me right in the heartstrings. And I got a little bit teared up about that. And so I was thinking, well, what was the whole point of this movie? And it felt to me like the point of this movie was to appreciate life to the fullest. You never know when it's, you're going to have to say goodbye to your loved ones. Live each day like it's your last. You know how he would go back and he would live the days twice, but then he just stopped doing it at one point. And that was the messaging that I got from it, and I appreciated it. By the time it's not necessarily anything I will rewatch, and not because it's a terrible film. It's not terrible. It's just this is not a film I turn that thing off, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not necessarily a movie that's highly rewatchable to me. I mean, the two leads had cute chemistry. The acting was good. Vanessa Kirby was fun. She's always fun to watch.
Who's that?
For me? She was the blonde friend of Rachel McAdams. She's played in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, later on, she's in a lot of action stuff. Hang on. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, so she was in it too.
Margot Robbie. Yeah, that was a
Margot
surprise to
Robbie.
see her.
What is this?
And I know, right? Simon's so unprofessional.
Wait, I'm trying to get. Oh, that's.
If you've seen the
I'm
Mission
trying to find a
Impossible,
picture of her. Yeah, she's very recognizable, and there's
what
gotta
has
be a
she
picture
played
of
in
her
lately?
here. There she is.
Her?
Yeah,
Yes.
What
yeah,
did
Vanessa
she do?
Kirby. She was the
in
friend.
Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, she's
But
been in
but
some
she's
Mission
been in a lot of
Impossible
movies
movies.
lately.
Yeah.
Lately, she's been. I mean, we'll zoom in on her in a second. Let me actually go back to her. Let's look at Vanessa.
I thought there was something. Oh, she played in Napoleon. She played
Napoleon.
Josephine. Yep.
Dude, I totally don't remember her in this movie that I watched 2 nights
Are you
ago.
She was the one that was eating the eclair at the end, at the very end, and kind of rolling her eyes because she was
one of the friends.
she was the friend of Rachel McAdams,
Yeah, she was one of the
the
Rachel
blonde friend.
McAdams.
Wow, Jeff.
Nope.
Okay, so Mission Impossible.
Wow.
Well, here we go.
I don't
Fast
remember
and the
her
Furious.
at all.
She was in Fast and Furious. She was in Mission Impossible.
Oh, I
a
didn't know
couple
she
of
was in
them now.
those.
Okay.
So she came back for this another
Eclair
sequel.
eater. Yeah, that was the only way I could think to describe her Putin's gas.
Jupiter Ascending. Let me see.
Oh, Simon has a
Robert
grudge against this
Zemeckis.
movie because how dare that dude date his beloved Rachel McAdams?
Oh,
Dude.
he's jealous. He's
Ah,
jealous.
what
Yeah,
did
it's
she
Joe.
do? What did she do in this movie? Okay, whatever.
She was just
I-
the friend. She was
I
just,
know, but like,
you know, the first night he goes there and they meet each other and it's dark, and then they
Yeah.
come out and her friend sees the guy that she had been matched up with, and she was like, "No, I don't want to hang with him," basically.
okay.
And then they have their little chat, and then she comes back and she says, "Please come, like, take me away because he's gonna." I can't remember her wording, but like, his friend was getting a little bit too aggressively happy about being paired up with her, and she didn't want to have anything to do with him.
Yeah. So she left.
Yeah, but she showed up at different times throughout
Okay.
throughout
The
the
wedding?
film.
I will choose to believe you.
She was a bridesmaid, right?
I mean, were
At
you
the
like
wedding.
what were you smoking, Jeff?
I mean, the usual, but
The
Okay.
good stuff. I mean, that's the only answer.
So something else I appreciated about it was just like sometimes there are certain quotes that will show up in movies, certain lines of dialogue that really hit home with me. And one of the ones was when he was meeting his child, his first child, and he was holding the baby in his arms, and he said something along the lines of how that no one can prepare you for the love and the fear that comes along with being a parent. And I was like, that is so freaking true. That's the best way to describe it. It's this horrifying mixture of absolute love that you can't even describe in words, and at the same time, just total fear.
Okay, real quick. I know this sounds off topic,
Uh-oh.
but as soon as you said the fear, I got an Amber Alert on my phone.
Oh, wow.
That is creepy.
Did you get kidnapped?
Maybe. I can't tell yet.
Kidnapped
We'll see.
right now?
I mean, Jeff
We'll
does
see.
look pretty young for his age, so
I do.
Lord.
Yeah, okay. So you liked the movie, you didn't like the movie?
I liked
She
it,
was just
but
like,
it's nothing that I would necessarily want to return to. And it didn't really fully grab me emotionally until really right at the end, honestly. Because some of the stuff he did, some of the days he chose to, I was a little confused, you guys. I was really confused about, I thought when he would go back and relive a moment in time, that meant he had to go through all the rest of his life after that. So when he went back to save his sister, I was like, are you kidding me? He gave up like his wife and his daughter just to save his idiot sister? Like, what the heck? And then it was like, no, it's just he goes back and lives moments. But how does that not disrupt all the rest of the timelines?
I suppose like, okay, especially when he comes back like out of a closet, right? What did he just disappear from where he was at the time?
I mean, I guess.
I think
I don't know. It was a little weird. The rules were strange to me. And I like time travel stuff, but this was really more like a human drama. This wasn't very sci-fi.
Right. Yeah. The whole sci-fi, like this movie had kind of a charming way of hand waving that stuff in. Like I didn't care, like it made it perfectly clear it wasn't interested in getting into those details, and it was, like you said, a human drama, and yeah. So I don't know. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother. I think they used it exactly how they should have. That's maybe what one thing I really liked about this movie is how to the point it is. Right, and how like when look at how he uses his power. Literally goes in a closet and goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that. It's just
in some ways, wouldn't it be cool to be able to have those second chances, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go and fix screw up moments and stuff like that. And at the same time, it didn't really feel like there were a lot of serious ramifications for when he would do this. Everything worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah.
It didn't screw up anything else totally. So I don't know. It didn't really feel like there were huge stakes to this story.
Nope.
It was just like kind of a slice of life. Here's this guy living his life. Going through his day, like he meets his woman. These are the life lessons he learns along the way. And I also liked the positive messaging about fatherhood and the relationship he had with his dad. I appreciated that.
Yeah. I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie, because I thought it was going to be a rom-com, and like the actual marketing, like the way they made it look, was very. It was way more sappy than the actual movie is.
Oh, yeah.
Right, like I didn't even really think of it as it didn't feel like a rom-com at all. In fact, the relationship between him and her was pretty backseat to just him and like his experiences, you know, and his family and the way he was dealing with his power. It really was about his life. And, you know, Rachel McAdams' character is like, she's the goal, right? But she's not like, it's not about them. And it's, you know, I liked the main character.
Oh, I did too. He was charming in a lot of ways, even though he annoyed me sometimes. But
yeah, the first time I saw this actor was Black Mirror, season 2, I think. He was it was the one where he dies, and then his wife gets a sex robot of him, basically.
Oh, okay. What else has he been in, Ahmed? Can you click on his?
What's his name?
Dominique.
Because this is important. This is important because
he was in Ex Machina.
Yeah,
he was
and
a dude.
Frank.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that one.
And he was in Star Wars.
Was he?
Oh,
the latest
that's right.
one, he played one of the generals.
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance. What the fuck is that?
That must be like.
He's in Harry Potter. Who is he in Harry Potter?
He's the oldest brother.
One of the twins.
Weasley. He's one of the old. He's the oldest Weasley.
Oh.
He's the one that's in college. Or
is he the one that marries the LaFleur girl or something?
Hey, Mom.
She'll know. She'll know.
Yeah, she is gonna know. Is Domhnall Gleeson? You remember we were talking about him? He's the oldest Weasley brother. Who does he marry?
Harry Potter. Yeah, he was in.
Yes, she says she confirms this.
Okay, all right. He was in The Revenant.
He was in the Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
I didn't see it, but he was in Unbroken.
Saw him.
Apparently, Putin's cat is his lover.
Well, no. Okay, it's this whole chat. It's this whole chat going on. Sashi says, my neighbor's cat is batting at my hands, hard to type. And Simon says, your neighbor is Putin, because there's a Putin's cat.
Oh, I see.
Because Simon's over there in Malaysia, I think. And he's, so they're just
True
joking.
Grit.
Oh, I forgot he was in True Grit.
He's in a lot of. That's why I wanted to bring him up, because he's not. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's like a
I thought he was charming in here. I especially like the scene where she's trying on all these dresses.
Yeah.
And he's a poor guy. He's sitting there. He's trying to be so helpful, and he just
doing his best,
and she. I know. And then at the end, he's just like, "Please, for the love of God, just whatever you pick."
It turned out it was the first dress.
Yeah, it's funny.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. I thought that the moments in his life felt really like it was well written and it felt true to life, which is interesting because, you know, we have that. I don't even want to call it a sci-fi or fantasy element, the time travel bit. Like, there's something about it that
it is classified in the sci-fi genre.
It doesn't feel like sci-fi.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't feel like fantasy. It just feel that's the weird cool thing that I like about it is it's just so matter of fact, you know, and they just get on with it, and so all of those moments felt genuine, and like the reasons for going back, and you know, like, you know, everyone sold it. All the performances sold it, and we get to see Margot Robbie. That's great. You know, and that was a really cool thing that they did with this movie is that scene where like he finally gets to get laid by Margot Robbie, and then like he could even, you know, go back in time to where it didn't even happen if he wanted to, and he didn't.
He chose not to. I know,
like,
I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, that moment, it was like something that he's always dreamed of, but you know, the whole time it's going on, it's like all it's really doing is making him realize where he actually wants to be at that moment, you know? So it's really cool. Like, I guess that would be the one thing that makes this a romantic comedy, I guess, is his decision-making is like, I guess at the end of the day, what one thing that this movie is trying to say is like, you know, your life can go in so many directions, but definitely make sure that you're sticking to the direction that leads you to your person.
Mm.
You know, like not only that, but to
Oh,
hold on to it.
I didn't
So,
know that.
who's Brendan
Wait,
Gleeson?
who's Brendan Gleeson? Yeah,
Brendan
that's what
Gleeson
I'm
is the
doing
dude who play. Isn't that the Mad Eye Moody in Harry Potter? And also he played in 28 Days Later as the father.
Oh, that
Yeah,
guy.
I think that's who he. Am I
now.
correct, Simon?
That would. I mean, I can
think
see
so.
it.
I think
could
that's
see
who he
it.
is.
Hang on, I'm pulling him up now so everybody can see.
Um,
This guy.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
totally did not notice
been in a
any
lot of
resemblance,
Yeah.
but now that I see him, it's like, oh yeah, of course.
yeah.
In Bruges.
He's one of my favorite
In
actors. He's
Bruges.
great.
Oh, In Bruges. I love that movie so much, you guys. Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
That's a fun movie. You know, something that a direction I thought this movie was going to go in was I thought he was going to get tied up into living two lives, one with Margot Robbie and one with Rachel McAdams, and he was going to go back and forth and like change things up. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the whole crux of the story, and it wasn't. That kind of surprised me. I mean, I was glad that
I
wasn't
want to see
it.
that movie though.
I don't.
That
would make me dislike him a lot, like intensely dislike his character.
Okay, so I think the only other thing that I have to remark on is just the pacing and editing, which I thought were fantastic. I thought that this movie moved. It wasn't
didn't waste
rushed.
time.
It didn't waste time, but it wasn't in a rush either.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, things just kept happening and moving along. Great comedic timing when it came to edits, but nothing was fall out of your chair funny. It was all just pleasantly amusing, I think.
Yeah, well, stuff we could identify with, you know, these awkward moments, these fumbles, these mistakes. You know, that's why in a lot of ways it did feel like the point of this was, you know, second chances and what would you do if you could go back and fix a thing, and then the importance of just trying to enjoy every moment that you have, every day that you have.
Yeah. Ahmed, what do you got?
I really enjoyed this movie. This might be my the best Dom Hall Gleason in my opinion. I think he did a great job in this movie. Rachel McAdams was great in her role, and so was Bill Nighy. I'm sure you guys know
He's
Bill Nighy
almost
from,
he's
Hitchhiker's Guide, Love Actually, Davy
Underworld.
Jones from, he's in everything, and he plays this casual like, oh, you know, we're a bit of time travelers, our family. You know, he's very like matter of fact, but he plays it so well, and he does it well here. I think I also commented about both one of the things each of you commented about. I think it's well paced. I think it has a clever premise. It is sci-fi, but the thing is, it's sci-fi like romance, right? Like, and there's been movies like this before, but this one, it has a very specific way and a very specific mechanism. I also commented about the mechanism in my notes. I felt weird about that when the sister. I was like, oh no, he's gonna have to now live, you know, all that stuff over again, and then he just kind of puts himself back where he needs to be, and that felt like a little bit of a cheat, because it seemed like the weight of him going back had to be lived, you know, and it seemed like that he didn't have to. It's a heartwarming movie, you know. I liked all the turns. I think my favorite part was the sister and the baby. That was incredible. That was like, you know, he comes in, he doesn't recognize his kid, that little bit of difference. And then he decides deliberately, he's like, nah, fuck this. I want my kid.
Yeah.
Fuck you, sis.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to learn from your mistakes,
learn
woman.
from your mistakes, because I can't save you from this one because my kid.
Yeah.
And like, you couldn't live without that kid, and that was beautiful.
That to me was my my favorite part.
Also,
too.
the moments they shared as well, when they do it together, you know, when they do it together and they go deliberately back to the same time to like live it together, is beautiful. And you know, I feel like he has a pretty easy, you know, life. Like the whole thing is very like, it's just a very chill life for these people, and that's fine.
Yeah,
like,
I think if I were to read this, I would not like it. I think that the execution of the film itself is really like absolutely essential to making this movie good. Because like you said, there's not a whole lot of conflict. There's not a whole lot of, stuff happening that's not just life stuff. Yeah. And he has it pretty easy through the whole movie, like he doesn't, Rachel McAdams doesn't even step out on him or anything, it's just like it's everything's fine. And somehow it still kept my attention.
That was the thing. Like there is a really good question here. And the really good question is he cheating on her?
Well, they don't explicitly.
Well, no, I don't mean that he's sleeping with other women. I mean that he's completely kept this really huge, important part of his life from her, and it's not something you can really explain. But once he takes his sister back, then all of a sudden it's like you're just keeping this from your wife, like. And that's kind of
his dad said never tell anybody, and then he told his sister, and I'm like, oh, disaster's gonna happen.
But what I'm saying
he told this stupid sister.
Right,
but then he untells her.
Yeah, he untells her. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
he undoes everything.
Kind of fixes that in a way, but also the consideration of how keeping something so critical from your life, from your significant others, is very interesting. Like he'd rather live easy being a time traveler with the power lorded over the relationship than take a risk and tell her the truth and live with the way that she would react, right?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of see that, but it's also such an extreme, like, high stakes thing. Like, not just high stakes, but a high likelihood of things going terribly wrong if he does tell her.
No, true,
because she'd be like, wait, so that means you can help me go do this and do that and do this and do that, and then it's just a snowball of absolute chaos.
Well, yeah,
right?
I mean, perhaps, but well, it's that I thought that was an interesting.
Yeah.
That's a little point that kind of stuck out to me.
Did you guys think when he shows up and that baby is not his original baby, my first thought was that she had cheated on him while he was gone or whatever,
Yeah.
This is like, funny. This isn't even hit. No, and then it was like, they explained it. Oh, okay.
That's fun.
Enigma Severus says some of those issues were answered, though. I mean, I understand Ahmed's point. At the same time, there's a lot of care with the issue. I don't remember there was a lot of care with the issue. Do you guys?
A lot of care.
The issue of him not sharing.
His dad just explicitly told him. He never told his wife.
Tim is actually going through the levels of how to handle the gift. You're right, yeah. There's like that growth period. Right, where he's trying to figure it out and goes back and
using
messes
it
up
to
and
his
whatever.
advantage, and then trying to use it to help other people, and then eventually he just learns to not even use it anymore because just appreciate what he has and not take it for granted just because he can go back and redo the day.
Yeah. I thought another thing when his dad suggested to him that he live the same day over again, but to pay more attention and to like take more joy in the small moments and everything.
Yeah.
That was incredibly impactful to me.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Yeah, there was one other thing. The cutoff. Like he was gonna have another kid, and that means that he can't see his dad anymore.
Yeah,
that was another brilliant. Once again, it had a problem with the whole time travel, but it still stuck to its guns with certain rules that were very impactful. Like that rule was beautiful. He had a last day with his dad, and the day of the birth of his kid.
His child. He had to give up being with his father, like we all eventually have to give up our parents. They're not going to be with us forever. He had this wonderful gift that he could go back and spend time with his father. So he never really had that sense of loss because he could just go back and be with him again and again, which nobody else can. And then he got to the point where he had to make this choice.
Yeah.
So that was, yeah, I did like that as well.
All right, so let's take some scores. Let's get
Oh,
some
we never asked
Yo,
the audience
we
for
need to
their
ask the
scores.
audience.
Is Rich keeping track of the scores, or do I need to write this down?
I think Rich, you doing it? Answer
Rich?
with a post.
You there, Rich?
Richard. Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Okay, so we need numbers. We need numbers from y'all. I think that we can talk about it for another 2 minutes or so. We need numbers from you guys. Rate.
Oh, well, we actually talked about books earlier, so this might have been 20.
What do you mean? 20?
About
20
time,
minutes.
still interested.
Oh.
Still interested.
When we started, we
Okay,
were talking about.
I was saying we can talk about the movie for like 2 more minutes so that people can get their numbers in.
Oh,
okay, we got a
sorry.
couple already. One from Enigma, one from Simon.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Anyone else who did their homework and watched About Time, please put your rating in the chat now. Yeah. Okay. Minor thing for me. Rachel McAdams doesn't. I don't know. She has no effect on me. I don't. She was fine, but like, I was not. I don't know. There was nothing about her performance that stood out. I guess she did okay. Maybe that's better for the movie, because like I said before,
she wasn't the focus.
She wasn't the focus, and it was more about him. And if maybe she was like way better of a performer or whatever, then it would
have overshadowed him. Maybe
Simon's happy about my. I'm out of the game. So you can steal her right away from me, Simon. Not a problem. Yeah. On the other hand, Margot Robbie, always very distracting. So okay, let's see.
As well.
Yeah. She had a bit more of bit more of the baby fat still on her.
Work.
Also, the movie never states why his family has the gift, but thankfully it is from a modestly reserved family that was wise about using it. Obviously, it would be a more problematic movie otherwise.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see the problematic version.
They don't adjust history.
You mean they're kings of the world, and then he has a battle with an
I want
to
see a movie where Archer has this.
Oh gosh.
Archer and his family. That'd be amazing. Okay, well, do we only have two people watch
I've
this
only
movie?
seen 2 come up so far.
You are all
Shameful.
Fired, all 142 of you.
Oh my gosh. This many people watching, and are you kidding? We only have 2 scores? Come on.
I'm going to cry.
Maybe they're just hanging out. Maybe they didn't watch it. They just want to hang out and listen about the movie or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe they haven't seen it.
Only watched half, so not rating it. Oh, well, maybe rate the half that you saw.
And we'll count your score for half.
Yes. 5 out of 10, he says.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, right.
That's pretty inflated.
Okay.
If you only watched half the movie.
That works 50%.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
It's easy
okay.
to calculate. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that means he wasn't super crazy about it.
Okay. 7 plus 6.5 plus 5 divided by 2.5. That's the audience score.
You need me to do the math?
No, I think Rich is going to do it, right?
Okay, yeah, that's right. He's writing it down.
Okay, so I'm going to give this movie a 7.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna give this movie an 8. I'm a sucker for these sci-fi, sci-fi cross genre things. And I really think they did a cool job, interesting job with this one.
I'll give it a 7.
7. Okay.
Oh, that was easy. So
7.5.
Oh yeah, basically, yeah, 7.5.
So the audience was right, even though you didn't do your homework.
So we're very close. Look how close we were. They got a 7.4 from the audience, even though it's only 3.
And we got it 7.5. So that's
Very close.
That somehow worked out. Everybody agreed that it was a better than average movie.
Oh wait, we got another one.
Average movie.
We got another one.
No, he says, because I always think of that movie with Justin Timberlake when I hear the title.
Oh.
Oh, hang on. Let's pull that one up. That's good. That's a good
Which
point. That was a very different movie.
What
Timberlake
was this called?
Time movie. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up right now on IMDb.
Okay, wait. Is this the one where he's got the time and he has to?
Yeah, he's gonna die. You make money by just having time.
Oh, I never saw that.
Very mean thoughts. Are you just not a Justin Timberlake fan? Or I remember seeing this movie and thinking it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Exactly. It's I think Cillian Murphy's in it.
Oh yeah, they use time as money.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept.
This.
I mean, like
which it all boils down to that anyway. But the difference is that the technology is such that you actually buy time, you're immortal, right? Like I think that's the rub. You're not gonna die. So
what's the
really
IMDb
rich.
score on that?
Oh, good question.
6.7, I think.
Oh, okay.
Did I just pass?
People
it?
generally, people generally liked it.
Okay.
So wait, what was it for?
What was the IMDb score on this one?
I think IMDb was like 8.
7.8.
7.8.
Look, even better than like we scored it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Solid movie.
Yeah.
Agreed. I don't consider it a waste of time. Not necessarily anything I'd return to, but it was a sweet film.
Sweet. Well put together.
Yeah.
And Bill Nye's the best in everything as well.
Yeah, he's great. He's just lovely. All right, so
Fallen is next. Where's Timothy?
Yeah, so
Timothy?
I wrote him at 7:55, and he said, "I doubt I'm going to be able to get on. We just sat down to dinner." Aww. And so I said we'd probably start around 8:30. Then I just texted him and said, "Getting ready to start if you're free." So I don't know if he'll show up or not. Well, we held off, especially for him.
All right. Well, if he doesn't show up, he's fired.
I agree.
And I mean, we could do the extra credit first and give him an extra 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I can tell him.
Let's do it.
Let me let him know.
All right. Sure. The Last Starfighter. Okay, this is an interesting one.
This artwork looks like one of our books.
It does.
It's such a nice picture.
Kind
I
of,
feel like a lot of stuff got renewed or something. Like I feel like this movie has a new sheen of polish on it. See, this is what it looked like. You know, the VCR picture.
Yeah.
And like this is what it looked like when I was like renting it at the.
No, that's DVD, store, man. Right? That's DVD.
Yeah, that's a DVD.
Right, or renting it at the DVD. You know, but
Enigma, are you referring to Fallen or the Last Starfighter or About Time? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay, so Last Starfighter. This particular movie, I remember when I saw it a long time ago, back in the 80s. I enjoyed it at the time, but then I was a child. Mm-hmm. And when I had a live stream a little while ago about movies that deserve a remake, this was one, if I remember correctly, this was one that Simon picked. Was in need of a remake because, you know, while the idea of it's cool and interesting, they just couldn't really pull it off too well as far as like the effects and stuff because, oh my, doesn't look good. Yeah, he's confirming. Doesn't look good. This was probably my least enjoyable one out of the 3 that we saw. My favorite parts of this were when they were back on Earth in his cozy little trailer park.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
And also, you guys, did you know that Nick Castle directed this?
Who is that?
The original Michael Myers, y'all.
Oh! Wow.
Yes, and you know what else is cool? This dude played in Halloween 2. The main character in here played in Halloween 2.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of funny to me. I don't know, just, you know, how things come around. And I had forgotten pretty much everything about this film. I had forgotten about the double. I had forgotten about the fact that he wasn't really like swept up in the whole idea of wanting to join this group. He wanted to go back home, and they did take him back home, but all this stuff was happening, and I just, there was a lot that had slipped my mind. I just remembered enjoying it because it was this little adventure, right? And I guess at the time it all seemed pretty cool and neat to me, but now when I'm watching it, it's a little cheesy and kind of cringe.
Oh yeah. Real quick before we go any further, I want to express that this is not the movie I thought it was.
Oh, what did you think it was?
I
Flight of the Navigator?
Flight of the Navigator.
Oh,
that's right.
Okay.
I totally thought this was going to be
Okay.
Flight of the Navigator. So when I
used to get
started
those
watching
confused
it,
too.
I was like, what? And it's because I have only seen this movie once as a kid. This is
Okay.
not a movie I was obsessed with as a kid. Last
Okay.
Starfighter, though, was. Flight of the Navigator.
Okay.
I loved that movie. So right there, I was like a little bit disappointed, but it took me a second to figure it out. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. What is this movie? I did not expect CG at all. Like,
Oh yeah, and it was bad.
it was
It was terrible.
but it was impressive still because it was
Well, for the
1984.
time, yeah, for the time, it was probably quite impressive. You're right.
Yeah. So I bought it on Amazon. And Ahmed, you said that there's a remastered version out there. Is that what I bought?
The
then?
one that I think we both watched the remastered version. The quality of the CGI was somehow improved. Like it had to be because it was ultra sharp. Everything was ultra clear. Kind of like this still here. Everything was like super sharp and and had really good fidelity. So I felt
it looks like what I watched as well.
They recently the CGI was like way better than I remember.
I so wish they hadn't improved it. I wanted to see the original.
No, it's gross. It's like
I know. I want to see it. Huh?
Have you? Do you have a comparison?
Do
you have it like
but maybe we can probably find it on YouTube.
Yeah, let's see if we can find it.
I'd be really curious then.
So I'm okay.
Yeah, you know what? I did actually look at it the comparison briefly. So I'm sure I can pull it up. Hang on.
What's funny is I was watching this with Taylor, and she was like, I was like, dude, this is like the first movie. This might be the first movie to use CG. And she's like, what about Star Wars, which came out in 1977? And I was like, oh, there was no CG in Star Wars. But no, because the 90s version is what she was thinking of. Because
when they redid stuff.
Yeah, you can't get the old version anymore. You can't get it on DVD or anything unless you want to pay like bazillions of dollars for it. Oh wow! Oh, this is the original trailer.
Lives in a small trailer park
which is
in the California
indicative
mountains.
of what it looked like, right?
He has a dream to go to college.
You guys think I'm gonna hang out here, watch you shine your pickup? Forget it, man. I'm doing something with my life.
Look at how fuzzy
Start a
and gross
career.
it is.
I want this
You're
version.
leaving here, aren't you?
Of course I'm going away. We're both going away.
Both of us, Alex.
And most of all,
I want to
to
see
get out.
like
Get
the
your chance.
stuff he was flying in. That's what I want to see.
Oh yeah, I think. Let me skip ahead. Actually, we don't need to watch this whole garbage.
Where are we going?
Here we go. That actually looks better.
the
Oh,
last
because it's got fuzz. It's like
Yes.
I guess I don't know. This looks garbage to me. This is like what I watched all my life.
is
Like
about
I
to
was
begin.
pleasantly happy that it was a remake version.
Okay.
What?
It looked like
So-
it was from film, you know.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was.
Like this is how it would have looked in the movie theater, but then the video, the VCR version, is what the trailer looked.
No, I don't think so. Man. I think that was. See, look at that. That is not.
That's sharp as hell, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah.
great?
What did you
I-
learn,
I-
Cool how they
Simon?
do that.
I
Share.
want to see the. Okay, so the shittiness of the CG looks less shit if everything else is shit.
It's all fuzzy.
I don't know. I disagree. I think they improved it as well. Like it's not just, but they improved it in a very tasteful way. Like they didn't just go out and change it like they did some Star Trek stuff. You know, like the original series.
Yeah.
When you watch it now, it's like all really fresh and beautiful CGI of the ship going around the planets. So but let's. But yes, continue, please.
Richard says apparently Vertigo was the first movie to use CGI, but it was for the opening sequence.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I've seen Vertigo.
It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie with James Stewart and Kim Novak, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I liked it.
See that? Yeah, that's like new stuff. That
That's
looks
new
like
stuff?
it couldn't possibly be from the 80s.
Yeah, right?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Is
not-
that
it's not
really
it-
new stuff?
It's not so much. It's not. No. Well, the point is once again they didn't redo it to be perfect, to be like to look as good as today. But what they did with it, I can see that improves it. You know, it's visually more pleasing than it was before. If that makes any sense.
Sorry, I'm distracted by Simon's.
Simon, okay, we have to.
He said, okay,
we have
so
to read. Yeah,
he
yeah.
said he learned a crazy fact about a remaster earlier, and this is what it was.
In the original Alien, Sigourney refused to shave her bush, so Ridley Scott spent $20,000 on getting it airbrushed out frame by frame. For the 4K Blu-ray remaster, they used AI to add it back in.
Okay.
4K Blu-ray master taking notes.
Okay.
Why? we went to go watch Alien on the big screen for the 45th anniversary. I never noticed anything, and I'm pretty sure I probably saw it was probably the remaster. So I don't know what the heck.
That is hilarious.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Dude, give me that $20,000. I can use it for something better.
Yeah.
Or so you say.
Yeah. So this movie is
it's right now. He's like pulling up. He's gonna.
Okay. So this movie is like it's another one that's just snappy, right? The editing, the pacing, everything just happened. Things happen and happen and happen. Maybe, I mean, obviously the first 15 minutes are the slowest bit. But like Sin said, that was my favorite part.
Yeah,
like getting to know the town and
that
like
little place. Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. It was a cool place. I wanted to live there.
It was cozy and gave me warm fuzzies.
Yeah. Really cool, really nice flashback to the 80s for us. It was cool to see him playing. It was kind of hard to believe that someone would have an arcade machine outside back then because they would have been so expensive in comparison.
Well, wasn't it part of that was an arcade? That was something that they did. They set that, or they put this game system out there. So maybe it wasn't as expensive as you think.
Maybe. I don't know.
No. Sid makes an excellent point. It was the aliens that planted it. So what?
Yeah. They were putting it out there to try to get people.
Wish away anything else after that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like,
they used a DeLorean, right?
No.
Is this a DeLorean? Come on.
No.
It's a DeLorean, isn't it?
No.
It looks very similar.
No.
Which is, all the kids wanted a DeLorean back then. He had a really cute girlfriend.
Yeah, I thought she was Laurie Singer at first. I thought she was Mark Singer's sister. They look very similar.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was fun. I didn't dislike the movie. I wouldn't watch it again. I liked the main actor. I thought he was fun. Oh, the actor who played the guy who invented the machine. What is his name? And did he play Gandalf in the original Hobbit cartoon?
Oh, I don't know.
These are that it's very possible. He's very famous old.
Is that
actor.
him?
The Music Man. Yes, this is him.
That's him. Oh, okay, Robert Preston. Okay.
Yeah, he's the Music Man. Like if that. Well, let's keep looking. Victor Victoria. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Well, you could just look up.
It would be in the 70s.
Just look up Lord of the Rings. Oh, he was in Child's Play.
No, doesn't look like it.
I want to say that was
totally
that
sounded
was,
like him.
Oh gosh, there's somebody on the tip of my brain that I want to say did Gandalf. Was it John Huston?
Now I have to know.
Okay, hold on.
Bilbo Baggins.
Okay, hold on. I'm about ready to find it. This is the 1978 film.
Yep.
We're talking about, right?
This guy's. I'm in 1940 now. There was no he was
cast. Hold on. Oh. Okay, someone named William Squire.
Sounded just like Gandalf from that movie.
It
was so distracting. I couldn't think of anything else the whole time he was on screen. Okay, so but I did like him. I thought he was fun. And I think that the way they treated space was hilarious. Like, they didn't even try to make it like in any way realistic or reach for any sort of real culture or anything. They're just like, they're aliens. Look at all the goofy aliens. And that, there was no more depth to the aliens than that. How fucking weird can we make each person look? that was the makeup department's job. Dulcimer's to know, not the rotoscope one.
I don't even know what that one is.
Yeah, that's probably the one.
That's the Lord. It's the one that
cartoon.
came out shortly after.
It's the one you mean, I think, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, I was looking up the
That's the
cartoon.
rotoscope
You're talking
one.
about the Rankin and Bass? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one. The rotoscope one was like really realistic looking.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't have that much to say about this movie other than that. Yeah, it's maybe one of the original lit RPGs.
Oh, yes,
and
that's right.
someone else said it's like every boy's dream. One day you get so good at video games, someone wants you to save the world.
Yeah.
The ultimate boy fantasy.
That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
Those are the books we do.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. It's very classic. I don't have much to complain about.
Ugh.
I would love to hear complaints.
Well, I mean, it was just so cheesy and ridiculous, the space stuff. And what I did pretty much the whole time I was watching this was I was organizing my Plex library. Just had it up on the screen and I was just working on other stuff.
Yeah, this is a great movie to organize your Plex library.
I was organizing exercise videos in my Plex library. Because it was just, I was rolling my eyes at some of the terrible acting, the goofy acting, and the terrible effects, and and how easy he just was. That dude was able to just take a rag and change his face.
Yeah. Well, no, he pulled his face off, and then he polished the eyeballs.
Yeah, but at the end, when he shows up again, he's alien form, and he just takes a rag, and he's like, and then there's his face.
Yeah.
And I thought it was hilarious how in stride some of these people took the fact that, he's off in space. Oh, he's off in space. Oh, okay. This halfway pretend moment, that they're so shocked, but then they just fall right in line.
Yeah. Well, what do you know? He was just out in space the whole time.
Yeah, I'm not super fond. I'm not super fond. I want to see.
I think I liked
the trailer park.
I liked that. I liked that aspect. I liked how when he broke the record, everyone in town was like, yeah!
I wrote that down. Everyone was gathering around to watch him play. That's like the height of excitement. In the trailer park.
The town sucked.
To watch him beat this record, and then I was thinking, well, what's the point? Like, what's he gonna get from it? Why is everybody so excited? Because this was before we even knew. It's like, what the hell? Okay. The 80s.
Yeah.
Simplicity of the 80s.
Oh yeah, we need numbers, by the way, guys. We already got a rating from Outlander. Right. He gave it an 8 out of 10. So be sure to...
We got Very Mean Thoughts, gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't think he means it.
Yeah, well, okay, he might.
I have
Very Mean Thoughts, you have to confirm your 10 out of 10 rating here if you want it to count.
The director was 13 when he wrote this?
Oh, wow. That's great.
I'm going to make a movie!
So definitely something a 13-year-old would write.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yep.
100%.
Okay, so yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, we got Swords Rich.
Let's hear Ahmed.
A whole bunch of nonsense. Okay. So, why don't we start with, oh wait, did I lose the page? Oh, the girlfriend. She's actually from a famous, horror movie from the 80s called Night of the Creeps.
Oh, okay. I have seen that. I just don't remember much about it. I've seen her before.
Real
Yeah,
quick, can we
she-
just change the picture because this lady's
That's a
freaking me
goofy
out.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
looking.
comment about her. Doesn't she look like she's hitting on him? Like,
Yeah.
hey, you wanna? Right? But yeah, so Maggie, I think her name is Maggie, Catherine
There.
Mary Stewart, and she's
Oh,
she's
okay.
been
Enigma.
in a few things.
What else has she
She's
been in besides?
Weekend at Bernie's,
Oh,
Night of the Comet. That was the
I
other
saw.
one.
Oh,
It was Night
she
of the
was
Comet, not
Okay,
what I
Night
said.
of the Comet. I've seen Night of the Comet a few times. I always thought that was Laurie Singer playing that part. See that she looks so much like Laurie Singer. Yeah, I've seen Night
no,
of the
it's
Comet.
her. So she's from
Okay.
that. There's a weird mystery that I'm gonna posit to the audience, and maybe somebody can help me with it because I lost my mind a little bit over it, but we'll
Okay.
come back to that. The clone had an awesome, awful haircut compared to him.
Really?
Like I think that was the only difference between. I was trying to figure it out because the other one looked disheveled, and I was like, "Why does he look?" And it's because they cut his hair awful. I think that's what they.
I didn't notice that.
So his hair because they did look just different enough that and the clone was called the Beta, which I thought was funny.
Right.
The bald. Why do people always go for bald humans in sci-fi? It's gross. Like what? You just you put a baldy on them and they're an alien? Like it's just so stupid. There were colorful characters. Greg, he happens to be an older actor, but yeah, for Greg, for me, it was the laugh. He did like a smoker's laugh or something. That was really weird. Centauri implied that he was Merlin. He said that he did this before with Excalibur. So I think Centauri is Merlin. And he doesn't die, right? So he could be Merlin, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty lousy way to draft people for to draft soldiers to get them video games is just awful. But it is a precursor to drone warfare as well. There was a lot of those implications there in it,
Right.
because of the training on the video game. The cop that they sent was sort of like Terminator.
The cop they sent?
Which
Yeah,
cop?
they sent
Oh,
the
you mean
cops.
that creature?
The creature
they
that changes
killed on
its
top
face
of the-
or whatever. Yeah,
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
kill the Beta. Oh, they for the budget, it was a clever use of sets. They had quite a few sets. They were 80s quality sets, but I think they did well for what they had. There was a good score. It was catchy, memorable. Bill and Ted vibes with Centauri. I think that's where Bill and Ted comes from. What's his name? But it's played by the comedian in Bill and Ted.
Oh, George Carlin?
It seems like George Carlin.
I forgot he was in that.
In Bill and Ted. Yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah, I
plays
forgot he was in that.
And it's the same kind of vibe.
What is his name?
I think
Rufus.
there could be a sequel where they rebuild the Legion. That would have been a good place to go. It was really gross how he took his face off with the rag. And so the mystery for me, blue LED. There was a blue LED in it. And it's 1984. Blue LEDs hadn't been invented yet. And I'm I kind of got a little weirded out by that. And then I started looking up the dates that blue LEDs existed, and they did not exist yet. So I'm
Wait,
Maybe
a
this
little
was part of the
thrown.
remaster?
No, I don't think so.
Wait,
Wait,
so
where?
what? Yeah, what bit are you talking
It's just on a one of the electronics things has a blue LED, and I just thought they weren't invented yet, so I'm a little confused about that. So that's my little stupid mystery that really has no bearing on it.
about? Okay.
But overall, this movie's nostalgic for me because it kind of hits in the spot where Flight of the Navigator hits for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Flight of the Navigator was a little bit after for me.
Yeah.
So I think I didn't get into it as much, but this movie was it was a perfect entry, Star Wars entry for the time, and actually it was 1984, and 1984 is one of the best years of film ever. I think
Oh,
that
yeah,
a
for
lot of
sure,
movies
yeah.
came out in 1984. It's silly how many movies
The Terminator?
came out. Beverly Hills Cop too, which
Yeah.
I just put together. Also, there's this prop, right? It's the Wilhelm of sci-fi props,
This
it was
thing?
in the movie as well. Yeah. It was in the movie.
This thing that
every
we're
time
looking
I
at?
see it, yeah, every time I see it, I'm like, oh, like it's that thing again. So this is always in Star. It's always in Star Trek. It's always
is
in
that
Star
again?
Trek. It's got like lasers and like lasers in the middle
I
that
th-
spin
I-
around or something.
I think it's KitchenAid. I think it's a KitchenAid.
Okay, Simon helped. Yeah, maybe it was a small incandescent that was made to look blue, but it really looked like a blue one. It kind of drove me a little bit nuts. But yeah, so the this thing was in their base. They were like standing over it, and it's been in Star Trek Next Generation a million times, and it's always doing different things. You know, like it's either at the
It's a garbage disposal.
yeah, it doesn't
I
matter
think that's
what
what
it
that
is.
is.
It's just
I think that's a
that
garbage
prop has
disposal.
been in everything, and it was in this movie too. You know, so it's like the Wilhelm of like awful sci-fi props.
Yeah.
Of, like TV movie sci-fi props.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I didn't even know.
And that's like every stupid thing I have about this
Okay.
movie. It's
What,
not much actually. Now that I've weighed it out, like laid it out in front of me, I'm like, oh, you know, it's the pacing was good. I think they were smart to do that. You know, it's like because a kid's attention's not really gonna. This was geared towards kids for sure.
Oh, for
And a
sure.
kid's attention's not gonna be like. It also was an hour and a half. It was a very tight movie.
yeah.
Is that all it was? It felt like it was so much longer.
Oh,
Yeah,
Simon.
well, that's 'cause
Simon's got
that's the
something for
80s
us.
effect. Oh,
The blinking tubes.
The blinking tubes prop. He's got a video link.
oh, good. Yes, the blinking tubes prop. Thank you, Simon. He knows what I'm talking about with this thing. That's why. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Someone save that YouTube link for me. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how. don't know how
I
to
got.
do
I
it.
can copy and
Just
paste.
yeah,
I can
copy it and put it in our chat.
Okay, I'll put it in the. I'll put it in our chat on
Movie
Teams.
history here.
Yeah. Put it. In our Teams.
All right. Well, we have. Did we collect all the numbers? Did everyone get their
There were
numbers
several
in?
numbers, y'all.
I'm glad at
So-
least you guys did the extra credit for your homework. So really appreciate it. 7.5 from audience. Rich says.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving it a 6. It's fine.
Same. I'm giving it a 6.
I'm giving it a 5. I'll give it a 5.5 only because of the charm of the little place where he lived, and I
Yeah,
did
that
like
was
those
nice.
moments. That's
So-
to me the only saving quality.
So we're like 5.9.
Maybe. Well, 5.75. You both are giving it a 6. I'm giving it a 5.5.
Well, it'd be 5.8 something.
Not
8.
putting
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
score
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it
you're
to
right,
count
you're
it.
right,
Did
you're
you
right.
count Enigma's score, Rich? That might bring it down.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's hovering in the 6s. It got 6.7.
6
so,
is
you know,
generous.
That makes sense. It is a 6. It's exactly a 6 movie. It was like they had the budget of a TV show, and they made a movie
Yeah.
with the budget of a TV show. Like everything about it feels like a TV show.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. All right.
Agreed. All right.
Yeah,
So
right,
it's certainly,
okay, Enigma.
it's certainly no Zardoz.
So Enigma
Well,
is.
no,
Oh
no,
gosh.
no.
No. Okay. All right. I will grant you that. So Enigma's throwing a monkey wrench in the plan. He's going to go 6.8. That's not going to get my number up
He's like,
All right. Cool.
trying to-
because
Is
we
that
have
better or
separate
worse?
calculations for the audience versus us. So
Yeah.
Oh, he went
your
up.
little
He
trick's
went
not
up.
going to work, Enigma.
All right. Well, your brother's officially fired. We're about to
Yeah,
talk
he's
about
such a little
Den's.
stink pot. I thought when he said they were eating, I thought that meant they were home. But they went out to eat after the movie. So they're like at a play. He's at a playground with the little munchkins. So forget him.
Yeah. So yeah, Fallen. Who wants to start on this one?
Can I start?
Yeah.
Yes, you start.
Because I probably okay. So first of all, this movie helped me remember and realize that I think Denzel is my favorite actor. I absolutely
love him.
adore this guy.
Yeah.
I love him so much. And like Training Day probably is my favorite Denzel movie. That's that movie's just awesome.
It's a masterpiece.
And so Yeah, he's made so many, and he's been so many characters, and he's just so good at what he does.
This is the movie where that meme of him clutching his heart comes from. You know, that we always see on Twitter when someone's trending and we think that means they've died, and you go to click on the name and it's showing the Denzel meme going, oh, it's just their birthday. They're not dead. This is the movie that comes from. Sorry, just thought I'd throw that in there.
So now, all of that said,
you hated it.
No, I didn't hate it. It was kind of slow.
Yeah, it was
and
2+
a little bit
hours.
boring.
It was 2 hours.
And there was a weird plot hole that happened right at the beginning, and I don't know if I'm wrong about this or if you guys caught it.
What was it?
Okay, so the rules were, there's 2 rules. Either, oh my god, these are all just pictures. There are 2 rules. Rule one. He can touch somebody. Azazel, now we're talking about the demon, can touch somebody and go right into them, but he can't touch Denzel and go right into him. Right.
There's some people it doesn't seem like he can.
However,
yeah.
If the body he's occupying dies, and he's turned into a free roaming spirit.
Yes, he's stronger.
Then that free roaming spirit can go into Denzel.
Yes.
That's the plot hole, because right at the beginning, when they put him on the electric chair and kill him, he floats out. He could have went right into Denzel then. Okay, but he didn't.
Right. No,
and he could have.
Okay, but I think they touch on that a little bit, Ahmed. I think it's that the spirit decides he wants to make Denzel's life hell, like what he did to that other cop that killed himself. He was framing that other cop for all these murders, just like what he was doing with Denzel. He was playing with him at that point.
Oh, so you're saying
he tried. Couldn't go into him.
He could have gone into him right then and just destroyed his life.
When he touched him, he tried to go into him, and because he couldn't, I think he took that as a challenge, and he decided, like, he couldn't go into the cop guy. Yeah, and so he destroyed the cop guy because of the same thing.
Is so excited because Enigma knows the answer.
Okay, he can explain. Explain. Is it what I was saying, Enigma? I'm just curious.
He's probably typing.
I mean, that's a good.
He's probably the
reason.
cat.
The torture reason is always valid when it comes to a demon. So,
for sure.
It's always.
Did you see him? He's like, Ahmed, don't you dare.
He's like, hold the phone. I'm writing a novel.
Because we're like a lot of times these movies that most of us really enjoy, Ahmed's like, eh. Okay, here we go.
The spirit does not need to use as much power to get into people when he is touching. However, when it's threatening his life, he becomes so powerful and is in desperate mode, so he can take over. Yes, agreed.
Right.
Maybe there's more. But my point is that he could have immediately gone into Denzel, movie over. He would have just and then had him kill somebody innocent, and then locked him up, and then left his body at some point.
Well,
just ruined his life.
I think he, like I said, I think that was touched on.
I like the idea that. I like your thinking where he tried the one way and it didn't work, and so he got taken aback and he was like, no, I gotta take my time with this.
I gotta mess with this.
I might not be able, like, if once my soul leaves my body, I might not be able to do anything about it. But also, if he's touching all these people, why even wait to die to like he's being taken to the electric chair. He's in contact with people. He could just get the hell out of that situation.
Right, he
anytime.
could. And I think, I want to say it's probably because he already, if you're his typing game, probably because he already felt like there was a challenge with the detective because he already knew him. Yeah. And maybe that's why he stayed in his body. And then he decided at the last minute, okay, I'm gonna jump to the detective, and then that didn't work. He's like, oh, okay, challenge on.
Yeah, so my fantasy movie brain immediately picked up the ending like before it even happened. As soon as they got to the woods, I'm like, there's animals everywhere. Like, what do you? It's not gonna work. Yeah, Denzel you didn't really think that through.
Denzel
too
wasn't
well.
not.
Denzel?
He did not think that through. But here's
but he was under a lot of pressure by that point. Like he was just doing anything. Yeah. But I initially I thought they were gonna drop the ball with it. Like initially I was like, oh no, they're gonna mess this up. Like somehow Denzel's gonna win, and when he didn't, I was like, respect. I was like,
that's one of the things my brother likes about.
I was like, respect. Like the fact that they did do that thing. He went right into the cat, and that was it. It was a wrap. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So it did end well. I feel like the second half of the movie is better than the first half. The first half is very slow.
Very slow. Like, I honestly passed out a couple times during this movie.
Not one of Denzel's,
I watched it all in one
best.
sitting last night, y'all. It didn't even take me days.
Good.
Yeah, no, I watched it in one sitting as well.
I made
but
Hector watch it with me.
I felt like it was a little bit just, okay, come on, get on with it. Come on, get on. We get it. He's torturing him, but I don't know. I don't know what it was. I didn't like the character of the lady,
the woman who was the daughter of the cop.
who like knew about. Yeah, it's just I don't know. So
what's she look like again?
This one.
This one?
That chick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's been in a lot of stuff too, but I always forget her name as well.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna find it.
I was surprised at how bored I was with this movie. I was just so expecting it to be pulse pounding and thrilling.
Yeah,
but it was just
I
kind
wanted
of
it to be. Yeah,
Surprised at how long it was. It's kind of long for a horror
James
movie.
Gandolfini played himself in the movie.
Just an amazing cast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The thing that stuck out most to me as not sticking out was the character of the demon. Like, I was not impressed with the character of the demon. You know, he goes through lots of different actors and everything, but I didn't feel like there was a very cohesive performance between them. It just didn't feel interesting the way they handled him. And, you know, with a demon passing between lots of different people, I would have imagined that they had some kind of plan on how to direct the actors to make it feel more like the same person is in each one of these people, you know? So,
yeah, but also I think that it was a demon, you know? It's like eternal awful, you know, like it doesn't even have a personality besides I want to kill and, you know, be chaotic and ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
So it is very one-sided. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
that's what I'm saying.
There's definitely no nuance to this character because he's just pure evil.
Yeah, and they leaned so hard on the song that it was over and over and over. It's
well,
like,
I really
okay.
liked John Goodman's performance of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Right at the very end. Right at the very end, right?
Yes. Right, that song. And his that was the tragedy of his brother like getting killed
So his brother, the guy who plays his brother, Tim, was at the gas station sometime in the early 2000s because he moved out to California after he went through basic training in the Air Force. So like, let's say after 2003, 2004 or something. So this movie had been out for a little bit already. And he's at the gas station, and the guy who plays the dude's brother, the guy who plays Denzel's brother, they're like there at the pump together. And he's like leaning against his car, just waiting for his gas to pump. And Tim was like looking at him because he had just recently seen the movie. Is why he noticed him. He's like, and they're kind of like nod at each other. And Tim's like, hey, by chance, were you in that movie Fallen? And the guy was like, oh man, that was a long time ago. So that's something I always remember about this film, was that the brother. And I remembered how it ended. I never forgot how it ended. I remembered being extremely bummed at how it ended because I did not want that ending. And something that I figured if Timothy was on here with us that he would say is that he appreciated also the ending, like you, Ahmed, that, you know, he had heard someone say, how can you realistically expect that this detective, who's only a few decades old, can outsmart and beat this demon who's thousands of years old? So I thought about that when I'm watching this movie again last night. And the thing is, Denzel did outsmart him. He did beat him in a sense. It was just pure dumb luck that cat happened along,
but not really, because it's the woods.
No,
it's the
he
woods.
Has a mile. He had how many feet?
That
before
also,
he, like, dies
that
forever?
cat, that cat didn't look like a doggone wild cat. That was a domesticated cat.
No,
they were out in the wilderness.
They could have done any animal. I don't know why they chose it. They chose a cat again for the audience. So the
yeah,
artist can be
because
like,
they were showing
we
the
took
cat
a couple for.
earlier.
So if they show a bird, then it's gonna be like, well, who's this bird? Like, why are we looking at this bird
also,
fly away?
like Denzel, he was thinking just jumping from humans to humans. He had about a quarter mile. Yeah, that's true. He did. Okay, they said
Quarter
how many
mile is like that's.
500
I mean,
500
I challenge.
cubits.
I challenge
What was it?
us
500.
to find a place. Oh, the weird religious number or whatever.
Yeah, it was from the Bible. Something from that. Was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
cubit or something?
Perhaps.
500.
Which is like a footstep, right?
Maybe.
Isn't that...
It's
So-
like
so
I think
yeah, but it was like
supposed
a-
to be like from here to here or something.
Oh,
like
the
that.
length from the phone.
The length like of the king's arm or something. Whatever. Something
So he had a quarter mile, and I challenge you to find a place where you can go a quarter mile without finding life on this planet.
any sort of animal. Yeah.
That that was the point that I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know how Denzel's gonna beat this thing. Like it's like pretty impossible. It's ruining his life. I'm like, the only way this could make sense in an end is that he dies. Like he just yeah. So anyway, so that was.
It reminded me a little bit of that movie Smile, because that was kind of what would happen. Like this thing would jump from person to person to person.
Yeah.
And the way the Smile movie, I felt like was going to end very similarly to what happened in Fallen, where Denzel's going to take his life, therefore the demon can't jump anywhere else. But that went a little bit differently. But it was weird because they played with your head with the narrators. They start off with Denzel's voice, so you're thinking it's Denzel's character the entire time,
right?
because he said, "Did I tell you about that time I almost died?" And then he said,
he's
he
talking,
said it
it's yeah,
right, and that's actually the demon at that point. And he said, if I go back to the beginning, that'll take forever. In other words, if I go back all the way to the beginning of my life, thousands of years, that's going to take forever. Let's start with this point,
that's a good point. That was very clever.
And then
actually.
they do switch it to have Denzel, his character, be the actual narrator, because the stuff he's narrating has stuff, it's specific to his character. And then at the end, they come back around to the demon being the narrator again. Oh, then remember how I told you I almost died?
Right. Yeah, that was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. I remember
that was a
something
really
that
good callback. So
my
yeah, so the
brother
movie had a lot of great ideas in it, but it was longer than it needed to be. Probably if it was an hour and a half, it might have been fine.
Yeah.
I think they felt like there was a half hour of filler mystery stuff that I don't think was necessary. Like I think they were trying to scare us with the power. There was a bit of that as well. Like but I feel like maybe they did too much of that. Like it's.
Yeah, agreed. They, especially because when you have something like this where it's a scary thing that requires zero special effects, and then they overuse it, it becomes lame very quickly.
Everybody's just
right,
like
yeah.
I see you.
Yeah. It's just okay. Another one of these touch chains. All right, it got old fast. If they had been more sparing with it and like been more clever with some of the transferences, maybe that would do better.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, or maybe we're just critical because we're fantasy people, and like this is like the kind of thing that happens in the fantasy genre all the
maybe.
time. And so it's like demons and powers. It's like we want to quantify immediately. At least I do. I'm like,
well, they
how
also,
does this work? How much power does it actually have? And as soon as they explain it, if they don't keep to that canon, then they have problems. And they kept to it.
Yeah,
they
that's
did
true.
show
It was a disaster in the end. It was a tragedy.
They do show a lot of the jumping. Then there's other times where they don't even show it at all. You just know it's happened. Like when the demon ended up inside the child, his nephew at one point. I specifically did like the scene where he first realizes something, like it's jumping from person to person in the police station.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that scene where
outside
he's going around and around, and he's seeing it jump from all of his colleagues to the next. So I thought that was. I actually wrote down something. I wrote down Donald Sutherland's name because Donald, rest in peace. But I wrote down creepy, more effective than Nicolas Cage in Longlegs, because I just saw Longlegs, y'all.
Oh, really?
And Nicolas Cage, he just overdid it too much for me. He went overboard from being he went past being creepy to just being annoying. So the demons in here, whenever the demons would go into a different person, to me that was more creepy and effective than anything Nick Cage did in Longlegs. You would ha, Simon. He's so witty.
I have not. So I've only seen one image of Longlegs. I had no idea what it was. So I'll have to ask you more about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, John
That's
Goodman
true,
really.
Sachi. What he says about the cat. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So John Goodman, in my opinion, maybe was the only real creepy actor to take the possession, aside from the original guy. Elias.
That's who I
Koteas?
was referring to when I wrote down creepy.
Yeah, he's great. I'm trying to think of what else is he.
Oh, he was in SVU, right?
Isn't he
the guy who plays in Law and Order?
Maybe. I don't
him?
think so. I don't think so
No?
though. I think you're thinking.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about. I think he's
Okay.
Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, can you pull up his IMDb, Ahmed?
Okay.
Elias
who?
Elias.
Koteas? There he
This
is.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, he plays Casey Jones in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I've liked
Wait,
him in
you-
everything
the
I've seen.
first
him in.
See what
one?
he's in. No, it was the second one.
Oh, okay.
It was
then-
the first one.
then-
It was the first one.
Casey Jones is in the first movie
I think so.
with the Steven Spielberg one, the one that they did with Jim
Talking about the
Henson.
80s.
I think all three of them are Jim Henson, aren't they? Yeah, first one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I guess he was in it. There he is. He's like top cast.
What else has he done? Because
He's
I
done a
swear to goodness, I thought he was that
yeah,
guy.
no, we're
from...
gonna figure it out right now. Thin Red Line, Shooter, Crash. I guess he was in. And then here we go. Chicago PD. He's in like probably.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Now. Chicago Med. He just does all the Chicago shows.
Chicago
Fire,
Justice? What the heck?
Justice.
Chicago Fire?
So
Are you
I
serious?
guess Chicago's like.
Oh, he was in The
like
Killing.
It's like a Chicago-based world building like show, right? It's like all the Chicagos. I didn't realize it was a thing.
Yeah.
Last Days on Mars. I remember that movie.
I know who you're talking about, the Law and Order guy though. He was in Oz. He was one of my favorite characters in Oz.
Okay, they look very similar.
Yeah, they do.
Zodiac, Skinwalker's Conviction, Big Empty.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
know,
he was
I-
creepy. He was
Sopranos.
creepy.
So the first one and the last
and
one.
everything.
Which one?
The first character and the last character to be possessed. Are
They were
ones
the
that- yeah.
creepiest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest is just
Oh, he's in
too much
Contact.
too much police station in general in the movie. Like whenever we got back to the police station, I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
See, I didn't actually mind that too much. I did notice that the movie was long, definitely long for a horror movie. But I guess I was just soaking up Denzel so much I didn't care. I just love watching him. Pretty
Yeah,
much
I
doesn't
agree.
matter whatever he's doing. So I went with it, and it was fine to me.
I agree, except I just did feel like it did drag for sure.
I can see where some
I
people
definitely
thought
want to
it-
watch Training Day now though.
You haven't seen
Training
Training
Day's the
Day.
best.
No, I've seen it. It's
Oh,
it's a
I was
great
gonna
movie.
say, are you
I
kidding?
love
It's
it.
the best.
He is
Oh,
fantastic
I
in
watched
that
the
movie.
movie that you suggested also, Sin, and I loved
Which one?
it.
Which one?
The time travel one.
Which one?
The time travel one that he was
I know,
in.
but which one? Oh,
Denzel
Deja
was in.
Vu.
Deja
I love
Vu.
that movie. That's my favorite Denzel movie.
Oh, really?
It's not my
love-
favorite,
yep,
but
that's
it was
my
good.
favorite.
I enjoyed it.
It's not necessary. I mean, I recognize he's excellent in pretty much everything, and he was fantastic in Training Day. I don't like seeing him play characters like that. I don't like Denzel to be bad because I like Denzel so much, and he was so
Denzel good.
bad. He was so bad in
Yeah,
there.
he was awesome in that.
He was
What
so
a Man on
good.
Fire.
But he was
out
so
of
good.
out of time.
He was so good, and Out of Time is a fun movie.
Such a good movie.
So fun.
That
It's
one is, like,
comedic too,
crushingly
in a
good.
sense, because the trouble he gets himself into.
Oh,
in that
it's amazing. Yeah, this movie.
But yeah, Deja Vu. I really like Deja Vu because of the whole, time travel and stuff, and the story that was put together, the mystery he's working on. Yeah.
Real quick, guys. All right, we need numbers from the
Scores,
audience.
y'all.
Anyone who watched Fallen, please leave your numbers if you
I
were
do have
good and you played and you did your homework. We got
couple
one
of-
5.5 from Simon.
5.5.
He was
Okay.
just in the Equalizer 3, and I watched
So
it.
Denzel is going to be in Gladiator 2. If you haven't seen.
Oh.
Is he going to be playing Russell Crowe?
No, Russell Crowe is not in. His character's not in there. But he. Yeah, Gladiator 2. There was one issue I had with some stuff, like when he's doing his investigating and he goes to that cabin. I felt like he very conveniently and quickly found these special books, and he found the special marking on the wall in the basement. It was like, okay, that's I was like, well, that's so convenient that he figured this out so
Any rational
quickly.
person would never figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, it's too beyond the pale. Like, the fact that he had any clue at all was
Books up there all
probably-
hidden and dusty. Like, how would you even think to look up there? And then why would you see this wall? Why would you think, oh, and that stuff, that cleaning stuff, which surprisingly there was plenty of it left in the container, even though this place had been abandoned for decades. It works just fine to clean this. I was like, okay, that's kind of convenient, but yeah.
Yeah. Denzel as bad guys, the best in my opinion.
Well, I mean,
He did a great job.
he really did show his. Didn't he win an Oscar for that? I think he won an Oscar for Training
Probably.
Day,
Yeah.
and that was very well deserved. I wholeheartedy agree with that because he was fantastic in there. He completely played against role, against type, against what I'm used to always seeing him as. Because he was just terrible.
Gladiator 2 is also a Training Day sequel. I'm digging that. Yeah, love that idea.
Whoa.
I now that I'm thinking about it, I want Denzel
Best
to.
Actor Oscar for
Yep.
Training Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well deserved.
Because I remember, I
What
think
a beast.
didn't he play in the movie called Hurricane? He
Yes.
played like a boxer or something, and he was up for an Oscar, and he didn't get it that particular year. And I remember his wife was all salty about it that he didn't get it, but then he got it for Training Day, and
But he has 10 of them.
10
what?
Oscars?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it looks like 10
No,
Academy Awards.
10 Academy Awards for what?
Let's, am I wrong about this?
I
am reading
don't
this
feel
wrong?
like he does.
Okay, let's start at 1990. Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, supporting actor.
1988.
Are you talking
Best
nominations or
supporting actor.
actual awards?
Oh, you know what? I
Nominations.
I don't know.
It
what
might be
this is.
nominations.
Maybe this is fooling me. Yeah, I'm looking at.
Could be nominations. Simon Smith says, I bet 7 is the reason we got so many of these dark religious themed movies in the late 90s. Budget 33 million, box office 327. Yeah, so Simon was saying earlier that Fallen was one of a group of late 90s dark religious kind of horrors that came out in the late 90s. And I saw all of them.
End of Days.
End of Days.
Also, yeah.
End of Days. What was the book one with Johnny Depp? Ninth Gate.
Ninth Gate, or was
Yep.
it Ninth Gate? Or okay, I get that confused with Rear Window.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Devil's Advocate and Stigmata.
Okay.
Also, Outlander says, can we talk about Ahmed's ad profile getting targeted pretty hard for skincare products and Crocs?
Oh, am I?
Yeah, Ahmed is now a Croc wearer, by the way.
Are you really? Welcome to the family, Ahmed.
I'm wearing them now.
Crocs are the best.
Yeah, I got this.
They're the absolute best.
This was the cheapest one they had.
I don't like the
ugliest
ones with
and
holes
the
in
cheapest
them.
ones.
I like the ones without holes because when you go walking outside, all the pine needles and everything get in the holes. I don't like that.
Oh, I don't walk outside with them.
What?
They're strictly indoor.
Yeah, you
They're
can't
just flip flops because I'm
No, that would
clumsy.
walk everywhere.
You can't go out in public in Crocs.
Stubbed
Yes, you
in my
can.
flip
I do it all
flops.
the
I stubbed
time.
my toe.
I
badly.
work cons wearing Crocs all the time, Jeff.
That's
Nation, Crocs all the time.
He puts
Did
it
you
out
see
of the
Idiocracy?
No.
Did you see the what
rumor of
Ahmed
Idiocracy.
posted about
Let's
it?
see, so when they made Idiocracy, they were like, we got to find the stupidest shoes or outfits, clothing that we can find.
They're not that
they
bad.
couldn't possibly. And
Yeah.
the Crocs were selected for
They're
that
not
movie.
that
And then
bad. They're just clogs.
No.
y'all.
I agree. I mean, they're very ugly, but
No,
but
they're not.
That's,
They're terribly.
These are not
very
ugly. They're
ugly.
just
They are.
they're just clogs.
they're just-
You're
well,
you have the
time
least you have the
changes.
least offensive Crocs I've
Well,
ever seen.
these are the ones
Those
I
look
like
like nurse
best.
shoes.
because they don't have the
that's what I'm
holes.
saying. Nurses use these. They use
Yeah,
Crocs.
well,
a
yeah,
lot.
but you know they are. But yeah, so I hurt my toe and then she was just insisted that I get them, and so now I wear them.
They're very comfortable. They're the
Oh.
only shoe I can be on my feet in all day, and my knees don't feel like they're gonna completely break off.
Simon's got some zingers all day today. It should have been Michael Douglas starring in Gladiator 2. He got throat cancer from going down on his wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, but he's Gladiator.
Are you sure it's from going down on his wife or all the other women he went down on before he married her? Because he was a busy man. He admitted that it was that
Yes.
lifestyle that probably
Yes,
gave
Simon.
it to him
Academy Award.
This is true. This is true.
because he thought they were
makers
too
of-
stupid.
No one would believe that they actually got worn. Okay, well, what did we didn't
We haven't given
rate.
our scores yet.
I'm giving it a 6.
Oh my god.
No, I'm giving it a 6.5. Sorry.
Oh my god. I'm giving it a 7.5.
I'm giving it a 6.
Why are you pulling this nonsense back up?
I don't know.
Because he likes the idea that she's flirting with him.
Exactly.
Is that actually
hang
is
on.
that actually his
Let's get
girlfriend?
closer.
Who's? No, I don't. Is it?
Actually,
No.
whose girlfriend?
The
Like the
girlfriend from the movie.
character.
No,
I don't think
no,
that's her.
no. She was
We got-
just some like extra from like the bridge, and she was just doing a salute or something.
Wait, is 6.7 our average?
Is that our average or the audience is at? Because I
It's-
gave
it
it
might be both.
7.5.
It might be both.
You guys
It might be
both.
both.
Jeff gave it a 6.5. Ahmed gave it a 6. Right?
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Oh, that's hilarious!
So
Oh,
you
they're the
guys were
same.
right on the money.
Wow, this was my favorite
did
of
it,
all three.
guys. We did it again.
All three.
I didn't check Fallen's score.
Yeah.
Actually. Hang on.
From Brondo, yes, Brondo.
What
is
is
the
that?
best.
What is
Yes.
It's got
It's got what
electrolytes.
plants craves.
Yeah.
It's got what plants crave.
I don't
Electrolytes.
That's
even
like
know what-
literally the world we live in now.
It really is.
But fortunately, we don't live on a pile of garbage. Like
That's
yet.
true. Yet.
We're close. But it's yeah. So
Yeah, what's next?
7.0.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that.
Okay, so
Okay,
we need the,
so-
the count the
All right,
release calendar.
Idiocracy.
Let me. No, I don't want to see Idiocracy.
Oh, dude, it's so.
Well, we got to look at the release calendar.
Okay.
Idiocracy's excellent.
It is.
I have
It
zero
is.
interest
It is
in
not an actual. It is not a movie. It is a documentary from the future.
Okay, so for
Yeah,
August,
exactly.
you want to see what we've got up on the calendar? I guess that will help
Yeah,
us
let's see.
determine what we're gonna. So we have.
Rich did that for us already, right?
Oh, did he? Well, that's right. I gave him a copy of it. He said he was going to look up possible films. So
I didn't get it.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, we've
Yeah,
got
sorry.
Time Marked Warlock that's going to be going up for pre-order, and then it looks like Dungeon Lord 5 as well.
Okay.
And then we have a hold on a pre-order for Mimic and Me 3 because we don't know yet. So that's what's on the table for August
Okay.
releases.
All right, so Dungeon Lord, some kind of grim dark fantasy would be easy. Some kind of like crazy old school Tim Burton movie, maybe.
Let me look up dark fantasy movies.
Or Labyrinth. Or
Like David Bowie Labyrinth.
Well,
yeah, David Bowie
That's-
Labyrinth.
that's
Or
too-
what was that other one?
That's
with,
close, but it's too
kidsy.
cheery. It's just a little too cheery. Also, that's just a 10.
The
so
Dark Crystal.
No point.
oh, we already watched
Dark
Dungeons and-
Crystal.
Oh, Dark Crystal's definitely dark. That's
Uh,
dark-ish.
It is like more fairy-ish. I'd say
Yeah.
that. Let's put that as a contender.
Is it
Do
like
we want to
Dungeon
do
Siege in the name
80s
of...
dark fantasy?
I mean, yeah,
I'm
I'm looking up-
dark fantasy.
I'm looking
like,
up dark fantasy films. Pan's
Let-
Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth.
the pre-order is going up next month for Aiming Thoughts.
Also, we already saw Honor Among Thieves, Simon.
Yes.
That was one we already watched. So Pan's Labyrinth is a dark fantasy. Coraline.
Not Coraline.
Army of Dark. No, Simon.
Army of
no.
Darkness.
No, but-
Army of Darkness.
No,
Yes!
There is a shotgun and
Well, no, hang on.
Yeah,
No.
that's right. Yes, there's a siege. There's a siege on the castle. There's a
Is this all
boomstick.
Dungeon Lord stuff?
Oh
This is
my
all
God.
Dungeon Lord stuff?
Yes.
Simon, how
This is
dare
all
you?
Dungeon Lord stuff?
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, Linda.
Army of Darkness, guys.
Okay, look. Okay, the reason I'm vehemently opposed to it is because a while back, not terribly long ago, Simon and Dee and Colin and we had a watch party, and it was Army of Darkness, and I was miserable.
Why?
I hate
Shop
it.
smart. Shop S-Smart. It's so good.
Okay, look. If you choose Army of Darkness, it's got to be the
I don't
extra
think
credit
it's
because I'm not
scream out
watching
loud
it
good,
again.
but,
I'm not watching
Okay.
it again. See, exactly. You knew.
Oh my God! Very mean thoughts. Edward has a wraith hand. Ash has a chainsaw hand. But yeah, dude.
Oh, so there's
Watching
more.
it.
There's more correlations. That's what
There's
it is.
a lot.
The extra credit that I will
Okay.
sit out the discussion.
I
Ahmed,
want
Great
extra credit?
excuse to watch this movie again.
Ahmed, have you seen it?
Okay, then you'll
Yes.
you'll
Of course
take
you
my
have.
place, Rich. You'll join in the.
Wait.
I-
Okay. Wait a minute.
no.
Wait a minute. Did
Is
you
it
see
extra
Evil
credit?
Dead 2? Did you see Evil Dead 2?
Who you talking to?
You.
I've seen it in passing. I don't remember. I don't like the Evil Dead movies, y'all. I'm
Evil
not,
Dead 2 is
not the ones
slightly
with Bruce
better.
Campbell in them. No, not crazy about them. I like Bubba Hotep. That's fun. Have you seen
Oh
Bubba
my
Hotep?
God. Oh my God. This movie's so good.
No.
So we'll call
It
it the
is.
extra
It
credit.
is.
and it'll be for
Simon
Dungeon Lord.
Smith says it's better the second time. It's better like
I don't believe
every
you,
time.
Simon. I don't believe you at all. We're
Okay,
parting
so
ways
I've made,
on that.
I've made this one extra credit. So we
Okay.
we
It's
need
definitely
two
gonna
more,
have
two
to
more
be
books.
extra credit. Okay.
What other
Army of
books?
Darkness.
What other
I
release
was
books?
bringing up some really good dark fantasies, but I guess we're done with dark fantasy now.
Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth is great, but Army of Darkness, okay?
No.
Wait, okay, no, wait. What are our other two? Our other two
Okay,
are
time marked warlock. So
Yeah.
that's time travel stuff. What was the other one? Oh,
Is it?
a possibility of mimic and me.
okay.
We don't know.
Well, we can do it.
Okay, so
And Beth Davis. That's right.
Time-
That's who
I
she
mean, he's-
was.
so time.
He's like a-
what about
he's like a
Warlock?
Mimic and Me 3?
But warlock doesn't involve time travel. So if you only want to do warlock stuff,
Wait,
okay.
what is
but-
Time Marked Warlock? Like, do we?
Okay,
what's
so
the
Time
synopsis?
Marked
Mimic,
Warlock.
mimicking me.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Someone said Mac and Me. Oh wait, is that a
Oh,
movie?
no.
Mac and Me.
Yeah, it
oh
is.
yeah, it's a
It
movie.
is.
Mac and
It's
Me.
not
I
one you
heard
wanna
it's a
watch.
terrible movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time marked warlock Ahmed
me
is
show you.
it's this warlock who has made a pact with Kronos, and so he can repeat a day, kind of like this movie we just watched, where he can go back to a specific day, except he can only go back within the past 24 hours
Yeah.
and repeat the day. So that's what that story is about, and he's solving a mystery. I loved the first one; it was really fun.
Oh, to repeat the day one?
Yes, it's a repeating
Um,
day.
repeat
Enigma,
the
so
day.
far, we've only decided on one, Army of Darkness, which I am sitting out on. I am not going to watch that
That's
one.
extra credit.
That's extra credit. So
Yep.
let's see, repeating day movies.
Obviously, Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that one that
Edge
was
of Tomorrow.
right? And what about the one that you were like, oh, it's the feedback loop in a movie, and it had that one guy
Frank
from
Grillo.
Frank Grillo, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's a good movie. Have you seen that?
It's decent, yeah.
That's the action one, right? I
Frank
watched a
Grillo.
little bit
12
of it.
Monkeys.
I didn't like it. 12
It's
Monkeys.
yeah, it was fine. 12 Monkeys is brilliant.
I have not seen 12 Monkeys.
It is so good. Oh, one of Brad Pitt's
Dies and it goes
best
back.
roles.
Okay, it's called
Does he
Boss
die?
Level. It's Boss Level.
Boss level, right?
Yeah. He
The
was, like,
T800
narrating it
is
and
kind
he
of a
got
yeah.
fourth
Simon
wall.
says he was waiting for me to say the T800 is kind of a wizard, except that's just time travel, not repeating day. But is 12 Monkeys a repeating day? Because are we going to do just time
I think
travel,
it's just
or are
really-
we going to
time.
do repeating day? 'Cause
It's not
Boss
really
Level-
repeating day.
Okay,
Boss level is
Level
definitely repeating day.
repeating day. Edge of Tomorrow is repeating day.
Yeah.
Obviously Groundhog Day, which I'm not insanely crazy about Groundhog Day.
I still haven't seen that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Source Code is a repeating day.
Source code.
Yeah, I'm not.
Source
Have you
code,
seen that?
what
I'm
was-
not super crazy about that one.
Source code. Hang on. Let me.
That's
pull
got Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
that. Yeah, and what's her face?
Okay,
again?
so Run Lola Run is a repeating day. I keep forgetting that that's supposedly
That's
a
a really
repeating
good
day.
movie.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that once. It came back on the big screen recently.
Wait, Run
Wilkie's
Lola
is
Run is a
saying
repeating day?
that's apparently a repeating. I'd forgotten that it was. Palm Springs is a repeating day.
We have a lot of choices.
Free Guy? I haven't not seen Free Guy yet. I don't think.
Are you serious, Jeff?
Oh wait, maybe I did see it.
With Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
That was a repeating
Free
day.
Guy, yes, a repeating day for him because his day repeats all the time because he's an NPC.
Yeah, I saw this. Never mind.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, Free Guy does repeat for the NPC character. His day always repeats. I think that was
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a cheat.
It totally does count. We have an embarrassment of riches. We have a lot of choices.
The Girl
It
Who
never
Leapt
usually
Through
happens.
Time. That's an anime. The Last Day of Summer. I've not. These are Triangle.
Triangle.
Yes.
Haven't seen that one. Haven't heard of it.
Okay.
Oh, what about Primer? Maybe.
Primer.
Primer.
I saw it once, and I
Primer
did not
is
pay enough
the
attention.
most sophisticated. It doesn't matter how many times you watch it, Jeff. Unless you build a chart. Like,
is it
on
really
your
difficult
wall and go through it? I can't imagine how you would be able to
Oh,
really
Happy
connect it.
Death Day, y'all! Happy Death Day.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, Happy Death Day. That.
Oh, you're not actually saying happy. That's a movie.
What
That
is
is a
wait?
movie,
What is
Happy
this
Death
triangle
Day.
movie? Real quick before we go
Okay,
on.
so Triangle is I think
The Bermuda Triangle.
Fear comes in waves.
sort of. I don't want to say too much about it because it's a bit of a.
Oh, I want to see this.
It's kind of a spoiler, just the fact that this has come up.
Yeah. No, let's not even. Don't get into it then. If
Okay,
you're not,
I won't.
We don't. Let's not spoil it.
But also Happy
now.
Death Day. That's definitely a repeating day. She keeps getting killed, and her day repeats. It's a horror comedy.
Oh.
Yeah, that one was. That one was a really fun movie.
That sounds pretty perfect as well.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good choices. Let's
Hot
Yeah,
just
chick.
Triangles. Yeah, and she's funny in here too. She's funny.
Okay, so we have another Time March Warlock coming in another month or two.
Yeah.
So why don't we
Pick
can we
one
can
and
we
then
can
choose-
we do 12 Monkeys for the next one?
Sure.
But you said
Okay.
that's not a repeating day.
It's not a repeating day, but it is travel. It is time travel, and there's I don't know. The rest
Okay.
of the repeating day ones just don't seem interesting to me, unless you
Okay,
can-
so which repeating day ones do you want?
let's
Happy
go
Death
with
Day or
let's go with Happy Death Day. This looks fun.
I can put Triangle down as a possibility.
But she
for
remembers
next
every time she dies, and then she
Yes.
eventually.
Yes.
I like that. I like the sound of this. Happy Death
This
Day.
is
All right, let's
exactly
do it.
like Time
So
Mark
Time
Warlock.
Marked Warlock. Happy Death Day, 2017.
Okay, so what about Mimic and Me?
Okay, so yeah, another buddy cop.
Red Heat.
Mimic
That
and
came
Me.
up before as a possibility.
I think I remember that. I don't remember what it is.
That's Schwarzenegger and what's his
Schwarzenegger and James Belushi.
Red Heat. Hang on, I'm pulling it up now.
But we decided, Tango and Cash. There's also Tango and Cash. Yeah, I like the second one too, Enigma. That one was quite touching, just because of like her mother.
What about Alien Nation?
Alien Nation.
The second one of what?
Happy Death Day.
Oh, there's a second one? Okay.
Yeah, there's The Guard.
What is Alienation?
Oh, The Guard.
The aliens came to
Isn't
Earth,
Dennis Quaid
and they just live among us now. And this guy
That's a
has
buddy.
a
Yeah, they made a TV
It's a-
show of it too.
yeah. I watched it when I was
Oh.
a kid.
The Nice
so
Guys.
It's James Caan and the alien, and they're partners.
I think it is I forgot who played the alien.
It's
Yeah,
good.
Alien
It's,
Nation,
it's,
that's
it
a
asks
buddy
some good
cop.
questions.
That's like a buddy film. The Nice Guys is a buddy film.
Nice Guys
Is
is
there-
so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Really?
yeah, it's really good.
Oh wait,
It's
I remember this
super
one.
Nice,
Ryan
nice, not
Gosling.
mice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
The nice
The
guys.
Ryan
yeah.
Gosling. This was funny.
Yeah, this was good.
I remember laughing out loud at this, and I don't remember anything else about. Like I remember
so
watching it. I remember laughing a lot, but I don't remember the movie at all. So if we watched it, I would not.
Artur and
I
I watched it.
Place around.
I actually
Not
have
long
seen
ago.
it like a couple times in the last couple years. So
Yeah, Artur and I watched it within the past year, I think, when we were
Yeah,
doing
no,
the
this
movie.
thing is
this
very
year.
funny. It's very funny.
are there any buddy cop movies with Robin Williams in?
Oh,
I don't know. What about Hot
Kiss,
Fuzz?
kiss.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, right,
yes.
Enigma.
Right
That
at the
didn't
beginning,
go over so well.
wasn't it? White Knights.
White Knights? That's a
Is it
Robin
White
Williams.
Knights? I don't know. I'm looking it up. No,
Super
I guess
Cop?
not.
With Jackie Chan. I saw that years ago. I don't remember much about it.
Rush Hour.
Yeah, Rush Hour. Rush Hour. Yeah, there is Rush Hour. Oh, Super Cop
Hot
is Police
Fuzz.
Story 3. Okay. Rush Hour is definitely
not Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz is too perfect of a movie. We can't
I don't know
review
about
that one.
Rush Hour's
I feel
good.
like early '80s, he had something. Moscow on the no, that's the one where he.
You guys have you guys not seen Red Heat?
I haven't seen Red Heat. I'm
I mean,
happy
can't-
for that to be.
I
This has
can't
come
remember.
up before, and we
Yeah.
we disregarded
do
it
it.
for
I'm
something
good.
else.
I'm good.
So
I'm-
maybe
I'm
we
down.
can slide it in.
I just kind of want to see
Alright.
if there is a Robin Williams buddy cop.
I
Oh,
don't know.
you
I'm
were
not-
looking at the list. Okay, all right. Let me go back. I'm trying to remember.
Die
I
Hard
feel
is a
like there was
semi-buddy
one,
cop movie. Yeah, Point Break.
but it's gonna be earlier on for him. Moscow on the
Last
Hudson is
Action Hero?
'84.
Last Action Hero is a buddy movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Him and the kid.
We really need one character who's really extreme.
For one of the buddies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in Red Heat, neither one of them are super extreme. You know, one's a communist, the other's from the U.S., and they kind of like have a completely different idea about certain things.
The
it's kinda-
Fisher King.
Is that a buddy movie?
It's not a buddy cop, but it is
But
a
I mean,
buddy movie. Sort of. Yeah, I would say so. Have you seen it?
A long time ago, and I remember that I don't remember much about it, so therefore I don't think it impressed me too much.
It's a heartbreaking movie. It's another 12 Monkeys, and it's the same director as 12 Monkeys. Fuck, what is his name? God damn it. The Python. The American
Terry
Python.
Gilliam?
Terry Gilliam, yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That would work. That would work
would work.
for mimicking
Oh
me.
Lord!
That would work for mimicking me.
Okay, do it.
That makes sense.
I haven't
Oh
seen
my
that one in
gosh!
forever.
So
this
we have another
basically
mimicking me
means-
to do later. So we'll save it for then. We'll
we're
do
gonna
Red Heat
put-
this time.
Oh, we actually are. Because I was
Yeah.
going to say, so this basically means there's really only
Oh,
going
no,
to
we're
be
doing Red
one
Heat.
of these that I enjoy.
I
Really?
mean, Red Heat.
Because I have zero interest in Roger Rabbit.
Wait,
But
no,
Roger
we're doing
Rabbit's-
We're doing
Wait,
Red
you haven't
Heat.
It's
seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I think I did a long time ago, and
Oh
I
my
wasn't.
God.
Really
Wait,
Oh my
so we
God.
don't want Who Framed Roger. Wait, are we doing
No,
Red
no.
Okay.
Red Heat, Army of Darkness for the extra
Are
credit.
we going to
What
postpone?
was?
Uh,
Oh, and
Happy
Happy
Death
Death Day. Happy Death Day.
So
Oh, we
we're
are
going
doing Red
to
Heat,
postpone Roger Rabbit for the next Mimic and Me
Yes,
for
correct.
Mimic
Yeah.
Me 4?
Yes.
There
Something.
is going to be a fourth one. Okay.
I'm sure.
Well, no. Well, it's okay. We're not. It's okay. Like we're not being
Who-
for Roger Rabbit.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a masterpiece. That is correct. Very Mean Thoughts. It's incredible.
Not my thing.
Okay,
Alright,
so we
didn't
got
work
Happy
the
Death
right
Day
way.
2017 for Time Marked Warlock, Red Heat 1988 for Mimic
Okay.
and Me 3, and Extra Credit Army of Darkness 1992 for Dungeon Lord 5.
Okay, so Happy Death Day is for what again? That's time marked?
Yeah.
And Army of
And
Darkness is for... that's for... What's Army of Darkness for again, y'all?
Oh, Army.
Dungeon Lord 5.
I'm posting. Cindy.
Oh,
You don't have
okay,
to do
you're
that.
gonna-
I just
okay, you
need to
got
know
that.
the date. I
Okay.
just need to know what date Wednesday it is.
Okay, so the date is the second Wednesday. Oh, so this is stuff. So I've invited my good YouTube buddy D Movie Man
Cool.
to come on August. I just didn't, and he agreed, but I didn't know the movies at the time. So hopefully he can still make it to the stream. and I will let him know the date is
Running
the second.
Scared. That's
It's
the one.
the
Thank you, Sashi.
Second, the 14th,
the-
August 14th. So it is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 4 weeks from today.
So it's the 14th?
It's the 14th. Now we're switching gears to second Wednesday of every month since the
Second Wednesday. Okay, so we have one less week to watch.
No, we actually have 4 weeks because
Oh, right, because we have the extra week.
Because we have
this
an
month.
extra week.
Yeah.
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 So
Okay, we're
what is
good.
the date?
This?
The date will
The
be
four-
August 14th.
August 14th.
And I just posted in Teams, so you guys all got it. Now.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, Run Lola Run. That I saw it once.
I didn't
remember
know that
liking
was. I didn't know that was a time.
I had
How
forgotten.
come I don't remember that?
I had forgotten that aspect of it, but it's been re-released on the big screen, and that was mentioned again. During the re-release, it was mentioned about it being that type of movie.
Yeah, she was in Born Identity also, right?
Yes, she played the girlfriend in the
Excellent,
first
we did
and
it.
second movie.
Nice.
We can watch it in French overdub with Spanish subtitles.
I do want to see that Warlock movie, though.
The movie called Warlock
Yeah.
with Julian Sands. That was the very
Yeah.
first movie I ever noticed him in, and I had a big crush on him in that movie. I thought he was handsome. He was totally evil, but I liked him in the movie. And it's not a good movie, but it was fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It looks terrible. All right, guys. Well, you have your homework. Don't forget to watch these before August 14th so that you can hang out with us and give us ratings.
Come with scores.
Come with scores. Do your homework, please. Do your extra credit, most importantly
right?
than any of it. I don't even know how am I gonna review Army of Darkness. We're just gonna party.
I'm just
It's
gonna
like,
sit back and just listen.
We're gonna
to
do
discussion.
2 movie reviews and
Roll
a
my
celebration.
eyes. Just roll my
2
eyes.
movie reviews, and we're just gonna fucking party until the night becomes day.
Oh Lord.
It's gonna be the best.
Oh,
So-
it was a
Call back
miserable
town.
experience.
Yeah. So yes, my guitar is a PRS. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with
Yes.
us.
Thank you,
I'm
everyone.
disappointed in how little of homework you did. How
Well,
dare you
especially
all?
for the first movie, we only had 2 scores?
And that was like the best movie of the 3 of them.
No, I disagree about that, but
It was
About Time was the best one.
It was the best one. Yeah, it was the best one.
Oh.
But yeah, thank you. Be sure to come back, not just for our next cinema, but remember on August 7th, we're coming back with the classic SBTL.
and every
So,
Wednesday will be
Every Wednesday we'll have something. So the first Wednesday we'll have an SBTL standard. The next one is the cinema. The next one is another SBTL, and then the fourth one will be a surprise pre-produced piece of work. And I hope you guys are looking forward to that, because I am. Anyway, y'all are the best. Thank you so much for coming. Hope to see you soon.
The outro music. Everybody wave.